Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome to the bonus show. Got a couple of emails here about stories we did on the bonus show. Erica said that I just wanted to say that I was oddly fascinated by Lewis's beer recommendation segment from yesterday. I can't explain why, but I think it might be because Lewis was so obviously engaged in the topic. I think that's a great candidate for a regular Friday show feature. I don't know. I don't know if it would be a very short segment. Maybe
yeah, I mean, how many do you have an unlimited supply of alcohol related stuff you could recommend or talk about?
I mean, I guess I could potentially do that, but I just don't know if it would, maybe I'll just do it occasionally on the bonus show or something. Maybe this is what I'll do. If I try a beer or a whiskey or some type of liquor I really like, I will recommend it on the bonus show the day after I try it. How about that? Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I don't know how often you're trying new beers, but that could definitely be something. You could also at some point talk about your experience brewing beer, which, I don't know if we really even want to dig into that.
It was, it wasn't, it was interesting. It was short-lived. It was short-lived, so there wouldn't be a whole lot of material there. Carly says, Lewis, do they have Waffle House in Texas? That is the drunk food joint staple in Alabama. Alabama. Right. Or as that caller calls it, Alabama Stan. Omelet Shop also. They're the 24/7 joints. I don't think there are Waffle Houses here. Maybe. I think there are Denny's. Kind of the same thing. Anyway, I avoid them all like the plague. Sony has unveiled a cassette tape. They're back. A cassette tape that holds over 64 million songs. So what is the point of this? Unfortunately, these cassettes would still basically be bound by the original rules of cassette tape usage. So don't get all excited. It's not like you can have an iPod that has 65 million songs on it. But the idea was for like long-term data storage, that type of thing, backup stuff, right? Okay, makes sense. These new tapes hold 74 times the amount of data per square inch compared to the old tapes. David, did you even own any of those old cassette tapes back when they were popular?
Oh, yeah. I think when I was, I think it was 1992, when I was 8 years old, that I started recording songs off of the radio. I thought it was the coolest thing. I would try to make my own mixtapes, and you would try to get it so that you don't get the DJ talking, because there would always be something about the time or temperature, so you don't want that in your mixtape. And, I would record over them, and I remember at one point, after moving to the U.S., recording stuff onto cassette tapes, like messages to my cousins in Argentina, and then sending the tapes. Oh, I was all involved with cassette tapes.
I also recorded straight off the radio because, you'd have the all-in-one radio, cassette player, CD player things. And, of course, you could just record what was on the radio right onto a cassette, which was great. I did that. I also made my own mixtapes. And if I had to listen to those CDs now or tapes now, I would probably vomit. But anyway, how is this done? Well, it's nanotechnology, as I'm sure you would have all figured out by now. The tape uses a vacuum forming technique called sputter deposition to create a layer of magnetic crystals by shooting argon ions at a polymer film substrate. Yeah, can you believe that? The crystals, measuring just 7.7 nanometers on average, pack together more density than any other previous method. So if you can understand that scientific jargon, congratulations. Pretty fascinating stuff. Yeah, but
the thing is, it seems like it's an interesting experiment, but it would be almost pointless practically, because you'd still have to fast forward from one song to the next with a regular tape player?
Exactly. It would be, who knows if a regular tape player could even, read the data. You might need a special player. They will be available, but like I said, it's pretty much only good for backing up your data for, I don't know, back it up, throw it in a box somewhere, lock it away. That's the point.
It sounds like it has huge hipster appeal. Like I could see Brooklyn hipsters going nuts over this.
Yeah, the type of people who would hold up, who would walk over to one of these with you with one of these tapes and say, you know what's on this tape? Every Beatles song, every Beatles demo of every song, every live performance of every song ever. And it would be worth like, I don't know, $1 million or something. That's what they would do with that. Here's a very scary story coming to us from California. In Rialto, California, 8th graders were assigned in a certain district. South California's Rialto Unified School District were given an assignment. And the assignment was to write a paper on whether or not the Holocaust happened. So at first, at hearing this, what are your thoughts? Is this an assignment that is supposed to teach them about Holocaust denial, or is this somehow?
I mean, I don't know. You could say, well, maybe this is just so they understand that, you know, you should have a historical basis for something, and you should understand why you believe what you believe. We should have evidence. But the thing is, there is this whole Holocaust denial kind of like industry or sect around the world. So if you really just want to pick a random historical thing to illustrate how we should have evidence for the things we believe, we should do research, pick something that isn't controversially denied and the subject of so much scrutiny, right? Say, oh, let's write a paper on whether the Civil War happened, right? Or something whose denial is not the subject of such it's not connected to such anti-Jewish sentiment.
All right. Well, district spokeswoman Saida Jaffrey said, quote, "It was an error. The Anti-Defamation League got involved. One person made a number of calls to the police with some very specific death threats directed at Jaffrey, and
that's always a good idea.
And to the interim superintendent, whose name is Mohammed Z. Islam." So I think we can all see where this is going here.
But is there a connection? Do they believe that there was any kind of Muslim Jewish situation factor in creating this assignment?
That is the idea. Although I think for legal reasons, this article does not cite that. But that seems to be what's happening here. An interim superintendent comes in. All of a sudden, this assignment pops up. And I don't know who Saida Jaffrey is, but that sounds like an Iranian name to me. I can check real quick and see. Let's see. Saida Jaffrey. Well, I don't know if I'm going to find anything definitive here. Maybe Indian. Might be Persian. Yeah, I think there's a good chance she's Iranian, definitely.
And Lewis, of course, the connection that Lewis is alluding to is Lewis's dad is from Iran. Has your dad ever spoken about Holocaust denial in Iran? Like, has he told any anecdotes?
Well, no. I mean, when he left Iran, he was 18. So I don't think it was ever even a thing. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, by the time we were 18, how much had we heard about Holocaust denial, you know? And granted, in that part of the world, it might be a more popular topic, but I just don't think it was ever part of the dialogue, really, which is good. But anyway, that's what's happening in California. Obviously, there was a huge uproar, and there were all sorts of apologies. The assignment is has been canceled. And Joffrey ended this with saying, "The Holocaust should be taught in classrooms with sensitivity and profound consideration to the victims who endured the atrocities committed. We believe in the words of George Santayana, those who cannot learn from history are bound to repeat it." Okay, I can't argue with that. Duff. The beer Duff has launched in Australia. I guess it is a collaboration between a couple breweries. There is nothing in this article about the legality of it. I would assume there had to be some sort of legal agreement between whoever owns the Simpsons trademark and the brewery. I can't say for sure, but anyway, Duff Beer is now going to be an actual beer. And it got me thinking about all those products from TV shows that were turned into real products. I'm a big fan of Futurama, and many years ago, some company decided to produce Slurm, which was this kind of energy drink made from, I guess, basically alien poop or piss or secretions in that world. And so they made the energy drink Slurm. And I kind of wish I bought one and never opened it, just to have as a thing to put on a counter somewhere. I was trying to think of other ones. There were the Harry Potter jelly beans. But what else is there? I know there's probably some big ones I'm forgetting about.
Well, think about Bubba Gump Shrimp, which after Forrest Gump is now a huge fast food type chain around the world. I'm pretty sure that there's I've seen one like in an Mexican airport. There's a Bubba Gump Shrimp. That entire concept came from a movie.
Is it? I always thought the Bubba Gump Shrimp existed before the movie.
Oh, really? Oh, if that's the case, then I'm completely wrong. I thought it was a direct reaction to the movie. I'm sorry.
Let me look that up. Talk about something for a minute, Dave. Try to think of other products.
Let's see. Other products that came from TV shows or movies. I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking of others now. Lewis, what are you finding? Bubba Gump Shrimp from Forrest Gump or not from Forrest Gump?
Seafood restaurant chain inspired by... Okay, so yes, you're right. It did come from the movie. That's a big one. I can't think of any others. So I need people's help here in determining what other big ones there were. Products from shows or movies that ended up being a real product. Obviously, the Slurm that came from, that was created in real life did not contain alien juice. But you know what I mean. Let me know what other ones there were, and on the next bonus show or whenever I amass enough of these, I will list them off and try to find them, see if there are any around anymore. Peace out.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.